Well. Hello, roll tide to everybody. Y'all know who it is. It's Piano Man here. First of all, happy early Mother's Day to each of you. Um, we know Mother's Day is tomorrow and everything, but I just wanted to give a happy Mother's Day to all mothers that may be on the show, watching or, here live, or whether you're watching after this is all over. Happy Mother's Day to you. Putting up with crazy Piano Man and your sons and daughters like Piano Man. All right. Good job. All right. Hello, boy. Look here, man. The chat done lit up so quick. What's up, Nick Harden? Roll Tide. Latoya, my girl. Roll Tide. Susan, roll tide. Oh, man. What in the world I'm gonna do with OG Gill? OG Gill, a roll tide, man. Talk about Rick time. Just start. You got to be a part of the Keep It a Buck crew to understand. OG Gill, man. That's what's up. Roll tide, OG Gill. Zach, what's up, Zach? What's going on with you, my friend? Zach, roll tide, my friend. I'm doing pretty good today. I just wanted to get on. And May is a kind of a rough month for me. And I'm not saying this for no sympathy or anything of that nature. May is a rough month for me. Back in 2006, my mom passed away the day before Mother's Day. My father, back in the Gap, passed away the week of Mother's Day. And then my children's mom passed away last year, a week after Mother's Day. So May is not easy. But you know what though? But Kangaroo Black said something last night. He said something last night, and this is just my motivational moment. Kangaroo Black said last night, but we can do all things through Christ. We can make it through. And life is not geared up to be easy. Life is geared up to be enjoyed. But life doesn't always, things don't go right all the time. So with that being said, I just decided to come on just to, this ain't no sad moment because a couple of things I do want to talk about. But anyway, roll tide to everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. And for those of you whose moms have gone on to, as we say, they're going on to be with the Lord, let's just enjoy their memory. And be thankful that we had them, okay? Be thankful that we had them. Because I'm going to tell you what, there's nobody like mama. Nobody like mama. I'm going to say this. Can I get an amen? There's nobody like mama. Nobody. And if you are a mom, trust me when I tell you, your children will really appreciate you. If you're a mom, your children really appreciate you. I'm telling you now, they appreciate you. Sometimes we act crazy. But anyway, we appreciate you. Now, Gil and Susan, now before I go any further, Gil and Susan, y'all got to stop these incarceration shenanigans. Oh my goodness, man. They've been on a go here for the last few days. Let me put it like this. So hold up for a minute. Okay. They've been on a roll for the last few days. So we got a whole lot going on with these two. So y'all pray for OG Gill and pray for Susan that one day somebody will be getting out on good behavior. Let's put it like that. Amen. Somebody's going to get out on good behavior. It's going to be okay. So anyway, I just want to kind of throw something at you for a little bit. I know it's good. Look, Susan, I'm not going there. I ain't fooling with y'all today. Exactly, Nick. And when you look at it that way, life is much, much better. Life is easier. Life is better. So thankful that the Lord spared you, Nick. Cause you know what? I'm thankful that the Lord spared everybody on here. Everybody that I've had the chance to meet, you probably just had some experiences, uh, some negative experience that may have, you know, could have been another form of negativeness. It could have gone to another level. But I'm glad that God has spared us all. And I'm glad to meet everybody from JB. What's up, man? Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. That's Mr. Keep It a Buck himself. But I'm glad that God has spared us all to that I can meet you, whether it's in person or whether it's here on online. I'm so thankful. But let me get to what I'm getting to. And I'm not going to get into a lot of it today. Oh, there's DSG. What's up? What's up, DSG? My brother from the Georgia Bulldogs. That's my friend. All right. DSG, I need you to do me a favor, my friend. I want you, the next time we're with Kangaroo Black, because he will be on my show. I think I'm gonna be back on here Monday. And I'm gonna be back on here Monday, and I want Kangaroo Black to be on. I'm gonna let him know and everything. But DSG, I want you to invite all your Georgia friends. I want y'all to come on. I want all of them. They don't have to, they do it just like you. I'm not asking them to leave Kangaroo Black, because I even go over there and hang out. As a matter of fact, we from over here, we hang out with y'all. We hang out with y'all over there. But I want all your Georgia friends. Let me see. SEC Dog. I want him. I want what's that guy? It's some guy that was on there last night. I can't remember his what's his name? Ringo. His name is Ringo. Something other Ringo Pick Six or whatever. I want SEC Dog, Ringo. I want all those Georgia guys to come over here on my channel and let's talk. Let's talk. I want them all. I want all of the Georgia guys. Those guys are hilarious. Those guys are hilarious. Latoya, were you on with Kangaroo Black? I know DSG was and everything. I'm trying to remember if it's Ringo Pick Six Ringo or Ringo Pick Six and everything. Hey, Carla, what's up with you? But DSG, I want you to pull all. I want all those Georgia guys to come and subscribe to my channel so we can. Okay, Latoya, I got you. Zach, I'm praying for you, my man. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I just read something. Yeah, Zach lost his grandmother. Understand, my friend. I understand, Zach. We understand, my friend. So we are praying. We're praying for you, praying with you, and everything, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, but Pick Six Ringo. That's it, DSG. Pick Six Ringo. Him. I want him to subscribe, come on my show, and everything, because we don't. Now, listen. We do not over here at the Long Run. We don't discriminate. Really, we don't. Only thing we just ask is bring your team, just be respectful. Just be respectful. Okay, well, I'm just saying, DSG, the next time we're on Kangaroo Black or something like that, just tell them, come on over. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Hey, Carla again. Hey, Carla. You know, JB, everybody. Good to see everybody. Oh, yeah. But these guys are hilarious. Y'all, if you have never met SEC Dog and Pick Six Ringo, they big Georgia fans, you are in for a treat. You're in for a treat. And that doggone Kangaroo Black gets them. It's like there's this argument that's about to start up. So and everything. Hey, KT. Hey, KT. Oh, they're delusional, Nick. They are delusional. They are delusional and everything. But but anyway, but I was just on here because I stopped. First thing is, I want to say, I try to bring the best content that I can. I like to be factual. We like to be funny. We like to be entertaining, yes, but we love to be factual. We love to give our opinion, which is neither right or wrong, because that's what opinions are. Opinions are just what they are. They're opinions, uh, just not scientific stuff, not coming with just a lot of data. I could do, and then later on I will, because I do have some data to present, like numbers and things like that. But we love keeping it a buck here, because we will tell the truth, but we will, some things that we see, some things that we notice, and we give our opinion about it. And some people may agree with the opinion, and then some people may disagree with the opinion. But what happens over here, or what doesn't happen over here, is we don't fall out about uh, the disagreement about an opinion, because it is what it is. It's just an opinion. So what I'm saying is, I do my best to bring content, to bring facts and things like that. And when I see stuff, and I check out from where it comes, I check out the sources, because that's what they teach you to do. If everybody in here has been to school and you've written a research paper, you got to consider the source. You got to look at your sources. And so something came to me today and everything, and I'm not really going into detail about it today. I just wanted to kind of present it to you to let you know it's out there and everything. But sort of old news, but another news source came up with it today, where they were, according to ESPN and Sports Illustrated, the college football top 25 rankings after spring practice. But they just more or less broke down the top 10, right? I want to show you something. And when we were on with Coach Sean and Jonathan Lewis and B Sharp and Tez the other night, we begin to talk about teams that are being slept on, that we think that are being slept on, and that's not getting a lot of publicity, getting a lot of shine, right? And one team that none of us the other night, I don't think, brought up was the team that is number 10 on this list. I'm just going to kind of go through them right quick. I'm not going to be on here long and everything, because I want you to enjoy your weekend, enjoy your family. You can look at Crazy and the Ugly Piano Man at any time, but I just wanted to get on here, kind of break the monotony for me and everything. But number 10 on this list was BYU, Brigham Young. And the biggest reason that I'm bringing them up is because, well, they're ranked number 10. They're coming out of spring training. They're the number 10 team, according to this ESPN poll and a little bit of Sports Illustrated. They're number 10. Remember BYU, this is the squad that beat Colorado in their bowl game and everything. And then it says here, where is BYU now? It says the core of the Cougars offense should be in place this fall. In other words, that's a fancy way of just saying the majority should be back, with quarterback Jake Rasliff, their top receiver Chase Roberts, and tailback LJ Martin returning with the bulk of the defense. If you never JB, I'm going to say this now. In their conference, BYU was pretty good. Now, they're number 10 coming out. And when you go and you watch them play, Colorado had no answer for them. Like it or not, Colorado had no answer for Brigham Young. And so right now, and their record last year was 11-2, and they were 7-2 in the Big 12. So that means that the 2 losses came within the conference. Man said, BYU, man, listen, stop it. I mean, this is coming from ESPN and Sports Illustrated. We may not agree, but when I watched them play in that bowl game, Shadua couldn't do nothing with their defense. Their defense was pretty solid. Now, I know a lot of us measure everything by the SEC and everything, and I can understand that, but we can't take away from another team. That other team finished better than we did. They were 11-2. And I know sometimes we'll say, well, they didn't play the same schedule. Well, that might be true, but they still won 11 games. They won 11 games and we didn't. They won 2 more games than we did. So we got to catch up, which means when you go, so they're saying that also the bulk of the defense was topped the Big 12 in both total production and points allowed. You know, they probably would get floored. So I'm just reading the list. Okay. I'm just reading the list. But BYU is number 10. Okay. Guess who number 9 is? Alabama. Alabama's 9-4 in the 9-4. Hey, Jacob, what's up, my man? Jacob, the Seminoles fan too. What's up? Good to see you, Jacob. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. But here's Alabama. Where was Alabama? 9-4, 5-3 in the SEC. Okay, now according to this right here, where's Alabama now? Came on the board, enters year 2 with a strong secondary. That's what we've been, harping on. A gifted pass rush combination and stars at wide receiver, including Ryan Williams and Miami transfer Isaiah Horton. But who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to be the quarterback? I keep saying, well, let me finish what they say. Right now, it looks like Ty Simpson is Jalen Milroe's heir apparent. My problem, and this is our team. For those of us that are Bama fans, here's where I've been harping on right here. It doesn't matter who the quarterback will be. I'm just going on out there saying it. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. If the O-line is not in place, that's the first thing. If the O-line is not solid, if the O-line is not solid from tackle to tackle, end to end, if it's not solid, it won't matter who's the quarterback. It will not matter. If that O-line is not solid, if the O-line is not sustaining their blocks, if the O-line is not sustaining their blocks to a point to where even on a running play that the back cannot hit the lane properly, 9-4 will be our lot again. I'm just being honest with you. 9-4, 5-3. Yeah, 5-3 in the SEC. That's the reality of it. The O-line, I said it on someone else's page just earlier today, that the O-line holds the key. Not Ty, not Keelan, not Austin. The O-line. That's who's going to hold the key from an offensive. What's up, Bino? Not just Ty Simpson. I think, listen, and this is just Piano Man's opinion, we've put too much emphasis on who's going to be the quarterback. Some say Ty, some say Keelan, some say Austin, whomever. But if the O-line is not solid, if the O-line is not doing its thing, I'm going to keep saying that until we play Florida State. I'm not looking down the road. I'm not looking at a SEC championship. I'm not even looking at a natty. I'm looking at August the 30th, August the 31st, whenever it is that we play Florida State. That's all I worry about. That's it. I'm not even looking at the second ball game. I'm looking at ball game number 1. What will we look like? with the defense we're returning. Okay, let me see what Latoya said. Latoya says, with the defense we're returning, we don't need a world beater quarterback. Exactly. We need a good distributor of the ball and minimal mistakes. I totally agree. And I'm going to put it to you like this. August the 30th. Thank you, Nick. August the 30th. That's all I worry about. Now, back to Latoya's, I'm going to put that back on the screen. Back to Latoya right quick. We need a good distributor of the ball and minimal mistakes. Let me tell y'all something that Kalen DeBoer said on the Ryan Fowler show one day. They did a live interview with him. He does not, I'm being honest with you, he said verbatim that he doesn't want a game manager. He said that verbally. He does not agree with the term game manager. So it goes back to what Latoya is saying. First of all, and we were talking about it earlier in our chat, is this right here. Put the ball in the hands or lean on your defense. Let your defense set you up for success. Let the defense set you up. I really believe that that's what's going to happen. Is that the defense is going to set our offense up. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. The defense, or this team rather, is putting me in the mind, and even though I'm a little old school, but hear me out. The defense is putting me in the mind of the approach of the 1985 Chicago Bears. Now, why do I use that as an example? Here's the reason why. When you go back and look at the 85 Bears, their offense, yes, we had Walter Sweetness Payton. Yes, the world was graced with Walter. But the catch was the Bears' offense as an offense was really not that potent. They were not, they were not electric. They were not electric at all. But what it was is that their defense was so rock solid. Their defense was their defense was rock solid from all over the place. You could not really score on the Bears. If you were going to beat the two losses that they had, you had to kind of get out in front of them and then play to their quote unquote their weakness and stop their offense. But the Bears defense set up Jim McMahon, Walter Payton, Willie Gault, and others. Can't remember who the tight end was, but their defense was like, you couldn't beat them. And when they set their offense up, it set them up to the point to where then the Bears could score, especially when it was a short field involved. The Bears made quick work of everybody. That's what this team reminds me of. This team reminds me of the Bears from a defensive unit. Now, I'm not saying that they're on the level of pros. No, I'm talking about from a collegiate talent level. You've got all of these pieces coming back with a good nucleus on the sideline, replacements and things like that coming in to fill in. Alabama defensively should be okay. But it's the offense. I think you're going to have to give them time to gel, allow the defense to set them up, and then by the time we play them, maybe the third, fourth ball game, then maybe you will see some explosiveness come from our offense. Now, it could be that the offense comes out, depending on how they play. It could be that the offense could come out on fire. It could be. We don't know. They haven't played yet. But I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, and so here we go. I got to put Latoya back up there. Enough said. Enough said. If the defense, I'm with you, Latoya. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I got you. If the defense, I'm gonna tell you now, if the defense scores touchdowns, I'm with Latoya now. If they didn't score, they had great field position to the offense. But I'm gonna tell you this: when you find a ball hogging defense, trust me, some touchdowns gonna come from that, whether by interception or by fumble. I'm telling you, if that defense comes in ruthless, see, that's what that 2016 team was all about. Those dudes on that defense were ruthless. And some days I'm gonna get some footage and present it and say, let's remember. That 2016 defense was ruthless. Ruthless, man. Ruthless. They didn't care. They played like it wasn't going to be no more football. They played like every game. Let's be honest. That 2016 defense played like there wouldn't be any more playing. They played like there would be no more football. They played like they didn't like nobody. Nobody. Y'all hear me? That's the way this defense is going to have to play. Listen, don't take prisoners, count casualties. And that's what the 26 defense did. That's what the 85 Bears did. They didn't take any prisoners. They counted casualties. Casualties, I tell you, casualties. So my point is that I'm making is that they got us ranked 9th. But it's more talk about secondary and this, that, and the third. But when it comes down to the offense, who's going to be the quarterback? I'm telling you again, if the O-line is not solid, it won't matter who the quarterback is. If the defense goes in there and scores point or sets the offense up to a point, I think that number 9 ranking is going to fit. But somebody else ahead of them is going to be in trouble. Yeah, I agree with you. Let me see, who was that? I agree with you, Nick. Here we go. Let me see. So you see, Nick said the offensive needs to be gelling by the time we play Georgia. I got you. I think that that if I just had to use this, I think that actually starting, I know there will be mistakes in game 1. I think in game 1, there will be mistakes, but I think we have to overcome them each week. I think that by the time y'all said game 4 with Georgia, I think that in the Wisconsin game, things ought to begin to come together by then. It should. Yes, JB. Yes. And JB, a matter of fact, JB says, the governor says, I think we have a legitimate chance to be balanced. Exactly. Okay, when it comes to dominating the game. Yes, sir, JB. And for those of you that are new to us, we're new to you, but we're coming to be this great big family and everything. This is something that we talked about a lot amongst ourselves last year, the lack of balance. When you don't have balance on a team, you can't control a game. The balance has to be there on both sides of the ball. And I'm gonna tell you something else. But the balance has to be there within the offense. There has to be, you can't have a solid O-line and an unsolid quarterback. That dog won't hunt either. See, so when we use that term balance, I'm with JB. I'm just kind of breaking it on down with the lowest common denominator, and that's this here. If you don't, you can have a solid quarterback, but if you don't have a solid line, if you don't have solid wideouts, if you don't have solid running backs, all you're gonna have is a solid quarterback, and he's not gonna be too solid for long because all of the balance is gonna shift to him, and he's just one man. And then what's up? What's up? My producer's here, Dwight. What's up, bro? What's up, broski? What's up with you? What up with you? Now, but what I'm also looking at is the fact that on the defensive side of the ball, the defense has to be dominant in all three areas: the line, the linebackers, the DBs. And however that, the DBs are playing and however that 4-2-5 is going. But I'm going to tell you, balance even has to be there. The balance has to be there. If the balance is not there, it throws it off. You can't have balance in your defensive backfield and there's no balance on your defensive line. I'm just saying. Piano Man's just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So, Susan said, I think our whole line is good. Quarterback can get the ball out and scramble if he has to. Susan, yes. But I'm going to save that line for another day. I'm going to save that line for another day, okay? Just remind me, Susan, to talk about that line, the O-line being good and quarterback can get the ball out and scramble if you have to. Just remind me of that line. Dwight. Oh. I just want the defense to be dominant. I want the defense to put fear in folks' eyes. Yes. 2016, LaToya. 2016, right? Those cats from 2016 put a fear in folk in everybody they played. And if they didn't, by the time they got through beating them down, they made them quit. Coach Saban even said, I think it was one of those 2016 games. Coach Saban made a statement. One of the players said, "Where'd everybody go?" And Coach Saban said, "Y'all made them quit." When you make the crowd quit, listen. Let's go back last year, because I got to move on from Alabama, but that's who I came to talk about anyway. I ain't not that I don't give the other team any respect, but Alabama's our squad. So, and DSG, I get to Georgia in a minute. But anyway, let's go back to the LSU game for a minute. Bama took them dudes out by halftime, that by the time the third quarter came around and they got the score in there early, by the middle of the third quarter, Death Valley became the death of LSU in that game. No pun intended. But it was almost like they just totally died. We took their will away. Well, guess what? That's the way the defense has to play all the way through, from top to bottom, from start to finish in every game. Don't ease up on nobody. Ain't no way. I'm going to say it. And Nick, hold up. Just hold your statement right there. Gil, OG, you made the big screen, man. Smith, Overton, Keenan. Remember those names. Smith, Overton, Keenan. Sound like a law firm. Those three right there, I believe they're going to give some quarterbacks some nightmares and some headaches. Listen, you'll see. You'll see. I will say this. Have your BCs ready. Because I think some teams on the other end, some team we play, they're going to need some BCs and some goody powders. Because I believe those three, what OG Gill is saying, they're going to need tending to because people doubted them last year. That's why these guys came back. It's like what Gill said in our group call and everything. And I will admonish all of us, no matter who your team is. I'm putting this out there. If you really want to be knowledgeable of what your team is doing, you got to keep up with them. I'm talking about you got to keep up with every move. What am I getting at? It's like one thing OG Gill said, know who's draft eligible. Because here, now, Piano Man is about to say something right here. And I know the season hadn't even got started. But I'm going to say it. I'm like B Heard on TikTok. Things that Bama fans might not want to hear me say, get mad with me for saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Check this out. If Bama don't do it this year, it's going to be a minute before we do it again. Let me tell you why. Those three dudes right there, those three, that's just the beginning of who's draft eligible. Remember that Piano Man said it here today. It don't matter who said it first. I got this from OG. Quay Root, all those guys, Quay, all those guys, Bray Hubbard, those guys are draft eligible. They're eligible. Some of them are eligible because of their time has run out. And some of them are eligible because they put the time in. They're there. And if they choose to come back, glory, glory, hallelujah, they come back. But I guarantee you, some of them are going to hit that pro. They're going to hit it. They're going to go. Like he said, Quay, being honest with you now. So know the ins and the outs of your team. Thank you, OG Gill, for reminding us of that. Know who's draft eligible. Know who. Let me tell you something else while we at it. Remember now, when the portal opens back up, some guys are not going to wait until December. Some of them are going to go into the portal as early as September. Not that they're going to get picked up somewhere. They're just going to enter the portal. They're going to become eligible for the portal. That's what you have to watch. I told y'all I watch a lot of stuff. Exactly, Gil. Quay might be the best defensive player on the team. With that being said, you got Deontay Lawson, Quay, Justin Jefferson, LT Overton, Tim Keenan, James Smith, Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb, and the list goes on and on. That's why LaToya says about LaToya, see, you got my attention. I love this moment. But that's why LaToya is saying that with the defense that we have, it'll make or break us. That's all I'm saying. But look at what LaToya said. I love this, LaToya. Thank you for bringing that up because I sure forgot about it, but I do talk about it from time to time. Is when we sacked Mettenberg about 4 times in a row and he limped off the field. My God, today, I'm telling y'all, that was a sight to behold. And then when he limped off, he didn't. And LaToya, I got some more news for you. Honest to goodness, he really didn't limp off. Really, he didn't, LaToya. He crawled off. Because remember now, when you go back and look at the replays of that, he didn't want any help. He didn't want no help. Bama had beat him into a pulp. You're right, 4 times in a row. And on that 4th hit, Justin Hill, uh, uh, but let me go now because I'm reading in the chat and talking about that what happened back in the Gap when they hit Mettenberger that night and that dude got to crawling off that field. I was sitting there laughing, and I said, "See, you messing with the wrong folks, player. Y'all thought y'all finna come up in here and think y'all finna do us. Man, they got after Mettenberger and it was all over with. And Latoya, he crawled off the field. He crawled off. And even the commentator said, these guys are warriors and they don't want nobody helping them. Wasn't nobody finna step out there on them because they would have thought Bama was going to come after them for just helping them. He did. Thank you. He crawled off the field. I don't care about being politically correct because the truth of the matter is Bama hit him so hard 4 times in a row you get sacked. 4 times in a row you got sacked. And at that last sack, you crawled off like a crawling baby who was waiting on toddler stage to hit. They are. Bama was ruthless that night, and that's the way I want our defense to be. I want to see a quarterback crawl off the field. Excuse me, y'all. I want to see the quarterback crawl off the field. Don't be playing on that pansy-wansy stuff. Come on with it. This football, man. Come on with the come on. I want to see them say, I don't want to see JB. I don't want to see a proverbial white flag or whatever color they wave. I want to see him throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. That's what I want to see. Yeah. Let me start back at the top. Okay, let me go back. I see some things in the chat that I'd have missed. But Latoya, you see, you got my juices started when you got to talking about that doggone when man, they hit that dude. So I'm telling you, Gil said the front 7 should be crazy. Better be. Justin Hill, when he gets those reps under his belt, gotcha, Bino. JB, the governor, says, see, I look outside the box. Defense would be great to dominate, but that offense needs to be right there with them. That's the balance we're talking about. That's the balance. That's a part of the balance. I got you, JB, because if not, our defense will suffer in the long run. Exactly. JB, you might not want me to do this, but I am. I'm putting it on the big screen. JB kind of on the shy side until he get with the crew. But anyway, that's what he's, I think, outside the box. Defense should be great to dominate. Because it's not he wants the offense to, I got you. Because if not, our defense will suffer in the long run. I got you. And I agree with that, JB, all the way. And I think the only reason that we're putting a lot of emphasis on the defense is because, see, from the jump street, I just believe, and some of us just believe that the defense is already going to set the tone. I think they're ready. A lot of the question marks are going to come from the offense. But what you're saying is correct, that if the offense intensity and their execution matches that of the defense, it's a lot of folks in trouble. From week to week, no. Excuse me. No. From play to play, quarter to quarter. If the offense's intensity and execution matches that of the defense, somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble. Amen and praise the Lord. Gil Cruz said, talking about Mettenberger, coach, do I have to go back in the game? Yeah. Yeah. Somebody got to do it. Somebody. Wait a minute. Since we're on that subject, I'm going to get to number 8 in a minute, but since we're on that subject, y'all, have y'all noticed that at certain times when we play LSU, we have this tendency when the defense gets shown enough wound up, we have this tendency of putting their quarterback out the game. Not intentionally, but it's like they hit this gear, they hit this stride, and all they see is they're going back, they're going after that quarterback, and they hit him hard. I'm going back to that Latoya. I'm going back to that Latoya statement when she said about Mettenberg being limping off the field, and then she said, I didn't want to say it, but he crawled off. See, it was like, if you go back and watch it, on that fourth sack, when they sacked that dude on that fourth time, it wasn't like one guy hit him. Come on, Latoya, help me out. It was like they all got to him. And when they got to him, it was like you had 4 or 5 guys that's then hit this one man, and when it's like they all brought him down. When they it's like when he got up, he couldn't make it no further. He couldn't even stand to his feet, because if you go back and look at the play beforehand, he got turned around. They was firing off on him. When we play, and I know some people holler dirty play, whatever, but when you go back and look at when what's his name, hit Jaden Daniels. Darn, forgot his name just that quick. When he hit Jaden Daniels, when he darn out there, because I was about to call his name, I was still talking about Mettenberger. But when he hit Jaden Daniels, that was a solid lick. It was just a solid lick, y'all. It was just that solid. Dallas Turner, exactly. And remember, Dallas Turner, when Dallas Turner hit Quinn Ewers the same way. Y'all remember that when they played Texas and Texas was beating us, and they got out on Dallas Turner. I mean, they got out on Quinn Ewers. Dallas Turner hit that dude so hard. That was all she wrote. That was all she wrote. Dallas Turner. Lord Jesus. That was all she wrote. So what am I getting at? I'm agreeing with JB. I'm agreeing with Latoya. That balance has to be there. But I am in total. Let me see. Hold up. I'll get you that. Hold up, JB, because I don't want to miss nothing important. All y'all are important. Let me go back, JB. I'll go back. JB, repeat your statement, because I don't see it, big dog. I don't see it, Governor. But I'm in agreement with both Latoya and JB and all of y'all. The balance has to be there. The balance has to be there. But that intensity on both ends, let me tell you how it works offense, is when you don't care how you run that score up. When they were talking about distributing the ball, this is where I think we matter of fact, I know we had problems. You can't just be a deep ball thinker all the time. Oh, I know it looks pretty, but a 4th and 26, a 4th and 31 is not going to make itself available all the time. That's not going to happen all the time. Exactly. But where I'm getting at, Nick, is sometimes the most explosive play starts short. It starts going across the middle and letting speed handle it like that. Oh, I saw that Gillen that got away from it. I'm talking about gelling, and everything y'all mentioned made me think about this gelling. We got the gel, but I'm trying to find that state because JB had. Y'all hold up for a minute. I got to go back to that statement because I did see it. Here you go. Here it is. I found it, JB. This one. We need to be gelling full speed ahead by the 3rd week in October, because that's when the season really starts. The UGA game is going to run on emotions and not execution. Got you. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why that statement is true. That statement is true in its totality because neither team like each other, especially from the and DSG. Where you at, bro? But now DSG is one of the reasonable guys. That's a Georgia fan on our channel. He's reasonable. Some of those others, because Bama have them too. Don't get me wrong. Bama have some delusional fans too. Yes, I'm just calling it for what it is. We have some You know what? There are delusional fans in every fan base. Delusional. Now, JB said we need to really start by October. That's the truth of the matter. Especially if the SEC was still geared up where it was East and West. But now that everybody's been brought into the mix, now what I'm gonna say something that JB didn't say. This is where emotion is going to have to come out and execution is going to have to step in. Because we're going to have, that's why I made the statement and said we need to be gelling by the third ball game, or at least beginning to gel by the third ball game. Because we're going to Georgia. And Georgia has lost to us. The last time we went to Georgia, Latoya, hope you're still listening, sis. The last time we went to Georgia, can anybody tell me what happened? Can anybody tell me what happened? I mean, it's a particular detail I'm looking for. Can anybody tell me what happened when we went and played in between the hedges in Georgia? I'm going to wait till somebody pull it up in the chat. Nick, I couldn't have put it no better. Some of our fans think it's like it was back in the days before NIL, and it is not. It has changed. The whole landscape have changed, and they are bandwagon fans. They bandwagon. They're not even fair weather. They're bandwagon because they're delusional. They don't have any, and some people that claim to know ball don't. They don't. They don't know how this game is played. They don't know the ins and the outs of it. They just think we're supposed to win them all. We're supposed to go out there, dominate this, that, and the third. Teams have gotten better. And it's like my little brother says from time to time, with some folk, Latoya, hey man. So with some folks, they think we're supposed to beat them all. But there's some team that's been caught up with Alabama. They caught up with us. That's the reality of it. Here we go. We won in the rain. Okay. Henry ran all over there. Sure did. That's for true. But something else happened, Latoya. Go back. I'm gonna give you a hint. Go back before the game started. Something happened. I'm gonna see. I'm like JB. I think outside of the box. If Tony Brown, yeah, but something else happened. Something that some of the Georgia fans do not want to talk about. It's something that went down. It were two things that went down in that before the Georgia game happened. I'm gonna see if anybody recalls. Latoya, if you can remember Mettenberg crawling out that field, you can remember this right here, because it was so funny. It was so funny. It's a reason Derrick Henry ran all over them. It's a reason for that. She said she got that. We won in the rain. That wasn't even no rain. That was a whole monsoon. That field, man, was wet, man. if can't nobody remember, first of all, I'm gonna start it off and then maybe somebody will catch it. The first thing that happened was Georgia was picked to win that game. Going back to when they played them, we played them in Sanford Stadium. Georgia was picked to win the game. But does anybody remember they came out in black? Remember that? They called it the blackout game. They come out there in them black jerseys and everything. Remember that? Come out there in black. First thing, Georgia was picked to win. Second thing, they come out there in black. The third thing that happened, what's up, Gary? What's up, little bro? My little brother here now. But the third thing that happened is when Bama took the field, Georgia was taunting them, was doing all that you can't see me stuff, and it was just really taunting them, and just trying to make life hectic for Alabama. And the Alabama coaches was trying to tell the Bama players to just keep it moving, just keep it moving, and don't say nothing to them, and all that kind of stuff. Because the Georgia got the, you know how you trying to flex on them and everything. And Georgia went out there and tried to flex on Bama. All Bama was doing was running to the sideline. When when it's time to come out, and the Georgia players was already out there and they were flexing on them and all that kind of stuff. Where did the flex go? It wasn't no flexing. It wasn't no flexing. None at all. It wasn't even a ball game. And then that's when LaToya said Derrick Henry ran all over them. But it's going back to what JB said. We call it the funeral game. You sure did. It was Georgia's own funeral. Because here we go. Y'all ready for something else? Check this out. It was the defense. The defense was lights out in that ball game. They were annihilating Georgia. They annihilated them. That's how tough this defense was. Wasn't no ball game. I said all that to say this. JB, you are exactly right. But only thing I'm just going to say is execution has to be stronger than emotion. Let them be emotional all they want. We're trying to win a game. That's all I'm trying to say. And we have to keep our wits about us. Don't get caught up in the moment. Yes, sir. 3 up. JB made the big screen again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gave them fellas the blues. The defense did. But it goes back to like what LaToya said. What the defense didn't do, Derrick Henry made up for it too. You know who else we did like that? Ole Miss. Sure did. We did Ole Miss the same way. So the point that I'm making is I'm totally in agreement with JB. That balance, that team balance, that gelling, that come together. Nick said it too. Gelling is time to gel. It's going to be time to gel. Yes. Thank you, JB, because that's why, and that's what I was sharing with Nick. Nick sort of said the same thing. Our offense needs to have drive 4 minutes and 6 minutes long. Yes. And JB, is it safe for me to say, and sometimes even longer, because trust me now, we're going to run into some offensive juggernauts too. Okay. So those sustaining drives, we need to have them sometimes as a as a strategy mechanism. That's what needs to happen. We need to have them as a strategy mechanism. 4 minutes, 6-minute drives, sometimes 8 and 10 minutes. Do it on purpose. Do it on purpose. Take time off the clock. Take time off the clock. There's a strategy for all of this. I'm still stuck on number 9, y'all. But coming into the spring or coming out of the spring, Alabama was ranked 9th according to this poll. But the majority, but the big emphasis is on the quarterback. I'm with you, Nick. Make teams quit again. Let's make teams quit again. I'm with Latoya. Let's make quarterbacks crawl out the game again. Let's make them crawl out. Let's make teams. Let's make quarterbacks crawl out the game again. We need to get a T-shirt made. Make quarterbacks crawl out the game again. Exactly, JB. I got to put this out there. Here's why you slow the game down. You want to take the crowd out. If you take their emotions out and everything, then you'll see what's what. You'll see what's what. Slow it down. Forget the high scoring 24-3 is a dominant game. Exactly. Forget. You want to take their will. You want to take their will. That's why I said, from a defensive standpoint, make quarterbacks crawl out the game again. From an offensive standpoint, make defenses tired again. Slow the game down. And from a team perspective, makes teams quit again. Something for everybody. Make teams quit again. Make them quit. Be dominant in more ways than one. Because I'm about to say this. Going deep all the time don't make you dominant. It just shows how potent you are. But going short and scoring from a short like that, it makes you scary. That's a part of the game. That's a part of the game that no coach wants to see where, excuse me, where you can just dump it over the middle and that dude busted going up the middle of your defense on a pass play. I'm just saying. Latoya, the point was, I ain't gonna put you. The point was, Latoya, first of all, Georgia was supposed to, going back to when they played, the last time they played them in Athens, number one, Georgia was supposed to win that game. They were favored to win. Alabama wasn't favored to win that game. While I'm on that point, did y'all know that the majority of the time we played Georgia, they always picked to win? Go back and check out your betting sheets. Most of the time, Georgia's picked to win, but in that game, Latoya, Georgia was picked to win. Number two, Latoya, they were dressed in all black. Remember those black jerseys? They were dressed in black. They called themselves going to put Alabama out the misery, and they were dressed in black. And number three, when Bama was running on the field to take the field, Georgia was over there taunting them and flexing and all that kind of stuff and acting like they were wanting to fight. And the Bama coaches was pulling the Bama players back. And then what you said, what JB said, happened. All that flexing went out the window. Yeah, Susan, the blackout. That's the point. Georgia did all that only to get their tail kicked. Now, here we go. JB said, I'm scared of a fresh defense than a talented one. Have all the talent in the world, but if they tired, and that's my point. And this is where that balance JB talks about comes in, and that's all we're all saying. Balance on both sides of the ball. Balance. That balance has to be there. We get these sustaining drives of, like JB said, 4 to 6 minutes, or I just said even longer than that. Take time off that clock. Let your defense rest. Like you said, fresh. You let that defense rest and they're fresh. It's coming on with it. So you got to play. You got to work your mind here. Chess, not checkers. Well, nope. Wasn't favored to win. And you remember we beat them, so we when we went over there and we whipped them boys like that. They did that in 15. They sure did. Georgia did it in 15 because they thought that because after we lost to Ole Miss, they thought they had us. Not so. Georgia wasn't going to beat Alabama that day. Alabama was too pissed off. I'm just saying. Alabama was too pissed off. And they didn't care where they played. Shoot, they could have played on the top of my hill over there. Georgia wasn't going to beat Bama. (2012), we sure enough wasn't favored in 2012. I'm telling you, in none of those games really, Bama is ever favored to beat Georgia. Bama wasn't favored last year. Just saying. I'm just saying. Bama's hardly ever favored to beat Georgia. 08, none of the time. Especially in that 2012 game, they wasn't, but what? Bama just wants it more. It just means more at Bama. Just saying. But here we go. Back to what I was saying. But Bama has to put it all together. We've got to put it all together. I wasn't going to go into a lot of detail in this, but Bama just has to put it all together. Remember, number 10 is BYU. Number 9 is Bama. Guess who number 8 is? Oregon. Coming out of the spring, out of the top 10, the number 8 team is Oregon. They were 13-1, and they were 9-0 in the Big Ten. You know. But like I said, they were 8-1. Now, here's the crazy part. What will Oregon do this year? Dylan Gabriel is gone. It's going to be interesting in Oregon on offense. Trayshawn Holden is gone. Dante Moore will be, according to this, he's going to be the quarterback. But then they have the Isaiah Worrell, who's left tackle, and Mekhi Hughes, who's a tailback. And that's basically all that they said about that there. But that's that right there. Oregon, BYU's 10th, Bama's 9th, Oregon is 8th, 7th is Notre Dame. 14-2, national finalists. We all know that. Expect the Irish to run the ball with Jeremiah Love, good running back, and Jadarian Price in the backfield. And with the quarterback race, that got more interesting after presumptive starter Steve Angeli transferred out. See, a lot of these teams are having quarterback competitions. I said this the other day. Bama, Georgia, to a certain degree, Georgia, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Auburn. I know those four, and to a certain degree, Oklahoma too, I think. Now Tennessee, all have new quarterbacks that haven't just per se started. They're having new quarterbacks. That thing with Tennessee, with Nico, as much as some people like it and everything, but that's going to kind of hurt Tennessee to a certain degree. Not that Nico was all that, because he was not, but Nico was not a bad quarterback. And you know, and it's more to that than meets the eye. But here's Notre Dame. Most of their offensive production is going to be there from the running of the ball. According to this, they didn't talk about their defense at all. Mostly their offense. So 10 is BYU, 9 is Bama, 8 is Oregon, Notre Dame is 7. Number 6, and this is something Coach Sean was talking about the other night, LSU. Coming out of the spring, LSU is at number 6. And they were 9-4 and 5-3, just like Bama. Now they've got a returning quarterback coming. Oh, no problem, Nick. No problem. They have a returning quarterback. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. When Harold Perkins did not come out, when Harold Perkins didn't go pro, and when Harold didn't declare for the draft, and when Harold Perkins did not transfer and said that he was coming back, I knew then LSU's defense is going to be good. If Perkins is not hurt, number one, and if Perkins is playing in the right position. Because for 2 years, they had Perkins playing out of position. And that was not his position. And then we all know he got hurt. But he's coming back. And Nussmeier's coming back. And so they secured the number 2 transfer class, including wideout Barry and Brown and Nick Anderson and edge rusher Patrick Payton. So don't sleep on LSU. As much as I can't stand them, don't sleep on them. See, a lot of these teams are no different than Bama. You got areas that we, areas that are slack, areas that you're thin in, and you've got to boost those areas. Now, I'm going to say this about LSU. If see what's happening here. If Nussmeier gets hurt, LSU is going to be in for a long season. Trust me when I say it. Exactly, Gil. And that's the same thing Coach Sean said. LSU really could be dangerous. They really could be dangerous. If LSU is going to do it, this is the year they're going to have to do it, or Brian Kelly's going to be in some. I believe he's proverbially already on the hot seat. I believe he is. Probably so, Gil. First pick in the draft, Nussmeier, probably so. But it's going to depend on his production. A lot of it's going to depend on his production. But what Gil said, honestly, LSU could be a dangerous team. But guess who they open up with? They open up with Clemson in Clemson. They're going to see that early. Yeah. But you know what though, JB? let me put that up on the screen right quick. JB says, crazy they bring one guy back and think LSU defense is back to LSU, but discredit our guys for coming back. But they will see. Exactly. Yeah. But I'm going to say this about LSU's defense versus Bama's defense. LSU, especially in that DB thing, in that DB position. Now I'm probably gonna piss some LSU folks off, but here we go. Those DBs are not as strong as advertised. They can be burned. Matter of fact, I watched them be burned. I watched the game they were playing, and their DB were getting burned, getting torched. That's why I'm not all that high on them. Now I think Nussmeier, that's what Latoya said. I think Nussmeier is probably the best returning QB in the SEC. Yeah. I can get with that. Latoya. I can get with that. But what does LSU's O-line look like? What does LSU's O-line look like? So, like JB said, we're DBU. JB, I'm going to do you one better. Alabama is everything you. Everything. Bama's everything you. Now, what Gil is saying, they did load up in the transfer portal. And now, let me tell you why that's an important statement. What made LSU go from here to here real quick is when Bryce Underwood decided not to go to LSU and hightail it to Michigan. He's gonna hightail it. He hightailed it to Michigan. When he hightailed it to Michigan, y'all, let me tell you what happened. It freed up a lot of money. It freed up that, whatever he was asking for. It freed up. So therefore, they could take it and spread the wealth, if you will. And that's why LSU was sort of at the top in the transfer portal. That's why they went from here. They went from here to where they're there now. But if those DBs are not any better, a good passing team is gonna kill them. I'm telling you, a good passing team gonna hurt them. So I'm just saying. But no matter what they say about LSU, Alabama is everything university. All things football is Alabama. Now, I'm not thinking far ahead, but I think Bama beat LSU again. Just like I believe we're going to beat Georgia again. But first game first is Florida State. That's all I worry about, Florida State. So LSU, so once again, the rundown, and I'm not going too deep into this because we're going to go back over this again with a little bit more in-depthness and everything. But remember, number 10 was BYU. Number 9 was Bama. Number 8 was Oregon. Number 7, Notre Dame. LSU is 6. Number 5 are the defending champions, Ohio State. Now, there are some that's giving Julian saying he's going to be good. And then there's some that's saying there's a quarterback battle about to happen. Ryan Day lost a quarterback, lost both running backs, 2 best edge rushers. but gain key plug-ins like edge rusher Bo Atkinson, C.J. Donaldson, and tight end Max Clare. While you still have Jeremiah Smith, the nation's college football top receiver, Caleb Down on the DB, all of them are back. I still don't look for Ohio State to be there. I still don't look for them to be there. I'm not hating on them because I don't really care for them. I don't. I'm not an Ohio State fan. Have to respect them because they are the champions. I don't like it because they're the champions, but you have to respect it because it happened. They got a couple of guys from the SEC that kind of pushed them over the top. Will Howard, okay, he did what he had to do, but now that was then and this is now. What will the quarterback look like? What will the O-line look like? What will the defense look like? Will they just plug and reload, or will they struggle this year? I believe they're going to struggle a little bit. And if they don't beat Michigan, well, they just don't beat Michigan. I have some thoughts about Michigan, but they might not beat Michigan, okay? Number 4 is Georgia. Georgia was 11-3, 6-2 in the SEC. Defending SEC champion, lost 13 players in the NFL draft, including some important scrimmage players along both lines and starting quarterback via transfer. But the Bulldogs added wideouts Noah Thomas and Zachariah Branch to help Gunnar Stockton spread things out. Maybe not. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think Gunnar Stockton is going to be Stockman. Is it Gunnar Stockton? I don't think he's going to be the answer. I don't think he will. When they begin to play teams like Bama, teams like Ole Miss, teams like Florida, I'm telling you now, Florida should have beat them last year. Bama and Ole Miss did beat them last year. Florida should have beat them. Kentucky should have beat them. I know there's a shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't. I got all that. I understand all that. But Florida was close to being a 6-2 in the SEC. Day 2, 4, 5-4. They could have been easily 5-3, 4-4, however you want to put that. Because, like I said, Kentucky should have beat them. Oh, Auburn should have beat them. Kentucky should have beat them. Auburn should have beat them. Who else did I say? It was another team that should have beat them. Bama did beat them. Ole Miss did beat them. Georgia was that close to being like a 4 or 5 loss team. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying. And if, they were playing and they played good enough to make it to the championship, blah, 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 blah. If Texas would have had a different thought process, Texas could have beat them. Georgia Tech should have beat them. See, so I know Georgia fans might not want to hear this, and they'll say that young man don't know his football. Yes, he does. Georgia was more lucky than they were good. I'm just saying. I've been saying that I said it on with B Sharp and Jonathan Lewis and Coach Sean the other night and Tez. I told them that Georgia is not dominant like they used to be. I saw that after the last championship that they won. And they came back that next year. Nah. Georgia, and each year it has dwindled, that dominance on defense. Now, Branch may be the fastest player in the country. Yeah, that might be true, Gil. But if the quarterback can't get him the ball, and I honestly think, and this is just me now, I honestly think that Stockton is going to struggle against aggressive defenses. Defenses that really get after the quarterback. I think Stockton is going to struggle. Now, he may prove me wrong, but from where I'm sitting, Notre Dame got after him, and I know that a year or so will make a difference. It probably will, but they're going to play him aggressively. I think they're going to play him real aggressive because they're not going to just let Stockton get out there and razzle dazzle because Stockton has some wheels up under it. But I'm going to say this now. Georgia is not that dominant. I don't believe I don't think, before I say that, let me say this. If you go look at Georgia's schedule is really not that hard of a schedule. But they're going to run up, but what their schedule proposes to them, they're going to be playing some teams that could possibly upset them. Florida will be one. I think Bama's going to beat them again. Bama's going to make them cry. I believe Bama's going to make their fans really cry some real crocodile tears. So the next one, number 3, coming out of the spring, it's Texas. Now watch this, y'all. And somebody brought it up in this documentary here, or, just this analysis. Looking ahead to a reported $40 million investment in their roster. $40 million. That's where we are, folks. Piano Man is being serious right here. We have a lot of fun on here. We joke and we play and we say a lot of cool things and have people laughing and making people just laughing. If you're having a down day, all of this. But I'm being serious right now. I'm serious about this. Looking ahead to a reported $40 million investment. And let me tell you who else did it. Wasn't quite 40 mil, but Georgia invested a lot in it too. I'm just saying. But invested $40 million in a roster, the Longhorns are in position to make a run at the SEC title. And this time with Arch Manning taking over QB1 duties, he'll have Ryan Wingo, DeAndre Moore working at his wideouts, while Trey Moore and Colin Simmons work the D-line with Anthony Hill returning at linebacker. Texas is going to be okay. Texas is going to be fine. But Texas go to Georgia. They go to Georgia this year. But remember now, Georgia beat them over there last year. Can Arch Manning handle that stage? Will Texas handle the big stage? That's going to be the question. That's going to be the question when Texas plays, whoever they play. But they came out as the third best team coming out of the spring. Texas came out at number 3. Guess who's number 2? Didn't see this one coming, but Clemson. They were 10-4 last year, 7-1 in the ACC. Looked like another year Clemson should be favored to win the ACC title with Cade Klubnik. But like what's his name? B. Sharp said the other day, yeah, Yes, yeah, Carla kicking the head, ain't it? Clemson came out of this thing in the spring as number 2, the number 2 team coming out of the spring. Calais Kupnick, but like B. Sharp said the other day, he has no faith in Cade Klubnik. Working with some skill, he's coming off a career year, working with some skilled wideouts. It should be another, and what should be another very strong front 7. Clemson, number 2. So mind you, Ohio State, wait a minute, let me go. Ohio State is 5th, Georgia 4th, Texas 3rd, Clemson is 2nd. But like I said, Susan, and I've heard that too, but Susan, they're opening against LSU. We're going to see how good they are. But Clemson is loaded. How credible is these people? This is ESPN and Sports Illustrated, Bino. They're going by, see, Clemson is returning a lot of talent, but Clemson struggles a lot. And remember, when they got into that ACC game, they backed in because Syracuse beat Miami. That's how they got in. But when you have a returning quarterback, that's where a lot of the what's the word? That's where some of your compliments are going to come, or your favoritism is going to come. Not favoritism, but being favored to do well. But Clemson is loaded. Clemson, just when they get outside of the ACC, now hear me now, when they get outside of the ACC, they don't fare well. They don't fare well. They've got to change they have to change some of their schemes around. Well, Bino, trust me, Clemson, when Clemson and LSU play, you're going to see how good Clemson is. We're going to see how good LSU is too. When those two teams play, we do know this, somebody's going to lose. We know that much. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. Now who? I don't know. But you're going to have two teams with both of their teams, their starting quarterbacks are back. Just like when Bama plays Florida State, both of those teams are going to have two new quarterbacks. That's it. Because Calistanios, I think that's his name. Remember, he transferred from Boston College, where I believe Lonergan is going to start for Boston College this year. I believe that. OG Gill said, well, OSU paid for a title, so Texas jealous. That's about the bottom line. But I'm about to tell you something. See, those pockets in Texas run a little deeper than them pockets in Ohio. Yeah, Clemson got embarrassed. Well, Clemson got embarrassed in the playoffs last year. I'm just going to say it from this standpoint about Clemson. I'm not putting my stock in them. Now, I'm not sleeping on them either, but I'm not putting a lot of stock in Clemson. Clemson will get embarrassed in the playoff. Probably so. Just like they did last year. Oil money. You got that right, Carla, and lots of it. I said Texas spent $30 million. I just put it up. $40 million. It's estimated $40 million. Bino, 40 million. Texas went with 40, and from what I understand, Georgia went with 20. I don't know what Bama did, but I don't think it was quite that far. And we got Clemson, and then now Y'all, I hear you, DSG. And that's no put down, bro. I watched Georgia. I watched them. And I said, where's the dominance? They don't have it. Man, that when they had that doggone Jalen Carter and that crew up there, I remember when Jalen Carter picked up Jaden Daniels with one hand off the ground. I remember that. I said, gee whiz. I said, good gracious. Peter Wood, and they talked about Peter Woods the other night, Gil. Peter Woods is about to be a top, top 5 pick. And that's why, excuse me, and when it was being hinted around that Peter Woods was thinking about transferring to Bama, that's why everybody lit up, because here comes a whole stud. Here comes a whole beast. He would have solidified that. He would have solidified that D line for real. He would have solidified the defense. Think about it, with LT Overton and Keenan and Smith, and then you have Peter Woods in there too. Oh God, that's why. And then he put out that he was not leaving Clemson. Now, y'all, the number 1 team, y'all, I'm going to let y'all take a wild guess. A wild guess. Anybody care? And Bino, you're going to have to ask this question again about the credibility. Anybody want to take a wild guess who came out, according to this poll of ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and whoever else, who came out number 1 in the spring? Here we go. I'm with you, Carla. When I read it, I almost threw it. I said, I can't throw my phone away because that's the only phone I have. I'm an iPhone guy. I'm not a Droid guy. But anybody care to take a stab at who's they said come out? Nope, Bino, not Iowa State. It's not Iowa State. Mm-hmm. Any other takers? Anybody else want to guess? Oh, girl, no. Michigan, no. No. Not Michigan, Susan. No. I'm going to take one more. Iowa State, Michigan, I'm going to take one more. Because if you get it, I'm going to tell you you're right. I'm going to tell you you're right. Anybody else want to try it? Bino said Iowa State. Susan said Michigan. Then who? Okay, I'm going to tell y'all. As much as it pains me to say this, coming out of the spring, the number 1 team, I'm going to put it in the chat myself, because I don't want to have to call their name. Okay, here we go, y'all. I'm putting it in the chat. There you go. No, Susan, not Arnold. That's who they picked as the number 1 team, having, coming out of the spring in this down period. That's who they came out. Penn State. Penn State. Yeah. I'm with you, Nick. Oh, my goodness. Susan, no way. Carla, no, Lord, shaking my. That's what has come out. I'm almost through. Ridiculous. So let me read what they said. Penn State was 13-3. They were 8-1 in the Big Ten. My problem is with this is the first, not just the first sentence. It's the first name they give, Drew Allaire. Allaire. I've watched this dude play. He's the quarterback. I've watched this dude play. No. When I watched him, okay, Gil, it was Penn State. Nick, Notre Dame was, what did I tell y'all? 6, 7, 6, I think. Notre Dame down there, they're behind Ohio State. Notre Dame is like 6. Yeah, they're 6th. I could see Notre Dame before Penn State. Exactly. But listen what they said about Penn State, y'all. Drew Allaire, quarterback, with Katron Allen and Nick Singleton at running back, while Danny Dennis Sutton returns at the defensive end. Now, they did say Allaire needs to keep getting better, and he has some intriguing wide receivers coming in to throw to. And with Jim Knowles leading this defense after coaching Ohio State's unit to a national title last year. Penn State. A lot of that has a dip. Yeah, and believe it or not, Drew Allaire draws a lot of pull. He gets a lot of publicity. He gets a lot of it, y'all. He gets a lot of publicity. This is why I say I may not be the world's best content creator, and I don't never profess to be. But I will tell you this. Smoke, thank you. And bruh, appreciate it from wherever that's coming from. But 130 subs, and you know, hey, bruh, I'm just thankful for one. You know, for whatever. So anyway, a guy who gets a lot of publicity like that, but for all the wrong reasons sometimes. For all the wrong reasons. But if they say he's going to develop, then I'll take their word for it. You know, I'll take their word for it. So it's all, you know, it remains to be seen. So like I said, this is for now. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be like this starting in August. You know, doesn't mean anything. But this is coming out of the spring. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. You know. So anyway. So y'all can tell me what you think. But I'm going to say this. Back to what I was about to say before I was, you know, got distracted there for a minute. One thing about it, I may not be the world's biggest content creator, and neither am I trying to be. But one thing about it, I keep up with football. I keep up with it. I keep up with players. I keep up with stats. I keep up with that stuff. May not sound like it, but I do. That dude Allaire struggles. He struggles a lot. He struggles. Now, they may see something that I don't, but he struggles. He struggles. He really does. He really does. So it interesting. Bama at 9. So Penn State first, Clemson second, Texas is third, Georgia is fourth, Ohio State is fifth, LSU was 6, excuse me. LSU was 6. Notre Dame was 7th. So, Nick, the number 17 got less pub or got a lesser ranking than the number 1 team who got them. Anyway, here we go. And then Oregon is 8th, Bama's 9th, BYU is 10th. Maybe and then on the next one, we'll go over the whole top 25 coming out of the spring. But I'm going to say this. This is interesting. This was interesting. This was interesting. This was very interesting. So I've been on for an hour and 46 minutes. I thank you for your time and everything. Thank you for coming and chat with me on this pre-Mother's Day. Again, thank God for all of the moms that may be listening. And if you listen, fellas, if you have a wife, significant other, and she's a football fan, she's a keeper. If she loves football, love fishing, hunting, and all that good stuff, she's a keeper. She's a keeper. DSG said blasphemy about Penn State. Man, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't make it up. I'm serious. Can't make it up. It is what it is. And what Nick said, it only matters what you're ranked at the end of the season. This preseason stuff really doesn't matter. It just makes for, in the words of somebody that we all know, it's for good entertainment. It's for good entertainment. That's what it is. It's for good old entertainment, good barbershop talk, and all that good stuff. About like what we're doing now. We're just discussing. But at least we see where, at least we're seeing where this is headed. So pretty soon, your football magazines will come out, and then you're able to make your own assessment and hear what they have to say, because then they're going to put it all together, compiling last season, the spring, and what the projections are for the upcoming year. That's all. And so I'll be going to Washington here in a little bit, see my grandkids, and I will pick up a West Coast magazine while I'm there. I did it last year just to see what Washington State, all those teams out there on that West Coast, what that was all about, USC, UCLA, all that kind of stuff. So so it's about to get interesting. And so like I was listening to one of the shows the other day, and Lindy's is about to come out. Them, Athlon, there's a couple of other magazines that will come out. Sporting News has their own football magazine. Lots of them are getting ready to come out. So anyway, and but I thank everybody for coming. I thank those who I'm gonna say this. I want to thank those who take the time to come, engage in our chat in a positive way. I really do. I'm really thankful for that. But I'm also thankful for the folks. I'm grateful for the folks whose hearts not quite, you kind of do goofy stuff. Because that's the stuff that kind of makes you strong. And that's the stuff that kind of makes me laugh. Hey, Dr. Crystal. Hey, Dr. Crystal, good to see you. But I'm thankful for the folks that make me laugh. I'm thankful for the folks that think I can't do it. Because guess what? You just showing up shows that I can. So I don't even give rise to that kind of stuff. I salute you for doing your thing. So, it is, not allowed to the barbecue. No, can't come to the barbecue. We're all family here. And that's what it's all about. We're family. You know, like JB told Nick the other night. Nick, you remember when JB told you, he said, you black tonight, bro. Haters gonna hate. And Dr. Crystal, they gonna hate. And you know what? Let me tell you something about a hater. A hater will swear that they not a hater. They will swear to it that they are not a hater. They'll swear to it. Man, I ain't got nothing against nobody, whatever. And just hating down, man. I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, only thing I can say about that, the only thing I can say about that is this right here. If you run your race, and not worry about somebody else's race and throw shade at their race, then, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Haters are going to hate, and they going to swear they ain't hating. They swear they ain't hating. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I'm not a hater. And you know what, Nick? I love hanging out with the Alabama family too, regardless of who is over the podcast. You know, it don't matter to me. We're all things Bama. But when you come with foolishness, I can't rock with you like that, because I'm not about the foolishness. Now, I give you credit where it's due and everything, but when you start coming in with this devious and snake behavior and everything, and then, you know, man, ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm like Dr. Crystal, haters gonna hate, but I'm just gonna say haters are hate and then swear they ain't hating, but then tell you that you hating. Man, what kind of foolishness is that? But anyway, it is what it is. We had a good show. I'm happy for it. It's all good in the hood. Almost 2 hours. And we've kept it engaging. We've kept it going. We've kept it moving. And we're presenting what they presented to us. Now, I'll be back on here. And hopefully I have some folks with me. And we're going to go back at it again. Be back on. I will probably be on here Monday with folks with me. Okay? And so we're going to have a good time. Man, we're about just Alabama football, period. And we're just trying to, we're all just trying to have a good time. So great show, everybody. Thank you for coming. And Dr. Crystal, even though you came in at the end, you know, we love you. And, you know, you're part of the family. Nick, you my boy. OG Gil, JB, Susan, Carla, KT was by and everything. We love you. Okay. DSG, you know, hey, even though you from Georgia, you still my dude. And everybody that comes by, we still we love you. And we're glad that you come by. Ain't nobody, and as we say in church sometimes, ain't nobody mad but the devil. It's all good, man. I'm just here I'm just doing something. And like I said, I'm trying to get better, but stick around. You're going to see something in a minute. So thank you, Carla. Thank you, sis. Well, now I'm going to find something to eat, find something to snack on and everything. Y'all have a great night, and hopefully to see you real soon. We'll be back on here Monday, but don't be surprised if I don't sneak back on here tomorrow, wishing all mothers on here, happy early Mother's Day to you. Thank you for putting up with us guys like Piano Man. Thank you for putting up with us. All right, roll tide, everybody. And hey, Gil, I can always count on you. I'm telling y'all, Gil been on it the last 2 weeks. He's been on it. He's been on it. Good Lord. Susan, okay, it's time for you to go put Gil up now. Escort him back to wherever he belongs, because he is being bad again. Here he go. The devil is a liar. You got that right. Devil's not welcome here at no time. And yeah, we you know, it's a spirit, man. It's a spirit. But we're going to keep on, because I still believe this. And at the end of the day, I believe what the Bible says. You know, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. And I have the Lord. And some people claim they have him, but their actions say something else. So, you know, I'll leave that right there. You know, gonna put it up. Well, okay. Now, Gil, does that count for something? But Dr. Crystal, where did you find it? On the real, where did you find it? Because I went to look for a jersey the other day on Athlete's Thread. So see now, Gil. Now the lady said she's trying to find the Miami jersey. Got you. Okay, got you. I ain't finna buy no Miami jersey. I'm gonna find me a Tua jersey, a Bama jersey, because I ain't finna wear that Miami stuff unless you found it in Miami, an Alabama shirt. Did y'all know Alabama? I know I gotta go, but did y'all know that Bama has had over the years a lot of Alabama players to play for them? Dr. Crystal, we trying, dear, to do something about it. See, Crystal, Gil and Susie been at it all day today. I think she about to go put him in the underground or something. I think she about to go put him in the underground. Uh-oh. I came in peace. Yes, you did, Dr. Crystal. You came in peace and you still maintaining peace. Gil start this, and then he'll swear when we all get together, he'll swear that everybody getting out on it. He will swear up and down. He will swear up and down. He will swear. You see, Gil, there you go. There you go. The special housing, Gil, you going in special housing. That don't even sound right. See, at least we ended on a funny note, because I can count on Gil to come up with something crazy, come up with something wild like what he has going. The special housing unit. I'm not even going to ask what that consists of. But anyway, y'all have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow. All mothers, again, happy early Mother's Day to you. And just know we love you and we appreciate you. All moms, we appreciate you. Oh, that's what Gil, you on your way to the can't act right house. Can't act right, Gil. You going to the special housing. I take it they don't have no food and water over there, so there won't be no snacks for you, Gil. I know it, Gil, man. We got you, bro. But Gil, Susan said she gonna put you in that can't act right house. You go. Gil need a whooping. That's all wrong. Susan, handle your business. All right. Piano Man got to go. Been on here an hour and 59 minutes, almost at the 2-hour mark. Love the chat. Happy Mother's Day again. Gil, locked down for 23 hours. Oh, bro. You might well, I hope you know how to pray. And say kumbaya. But y'all have a good night. Piano Man loves you. And as always, roll tide. Y'all have a beautiful night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will see you again real soon. Roll tide.